Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are exploring a truly timeless mind map all about personal agency and inner peace. We're going to completely unpack the brilliant architecture of William George Jordan's classic work, Self-Control, Its Kingship and Majesty. And hey, by the end of this explainer, you're going to have a clear visual blueprint for navigating the incredible complexities of your own life. Let's jump right in.
But first, I want you to really ask yourself, do you ever feel, completely overwhelmed by the frantic pace of the modern world? Like things are just constantly happening to you. Jordan actually argues that man has two creators, his God and himself. It's funny, isn't it? When we fail, we tend to blame our circumstances. But when we succeed, we proudly pat ourselves on the back and call ourselves self-made. So, the absolute best antidote to feeling like a victim of your own life is unlocking the foundational power of self-control.
Grounding our explainer today is this incredible 1898 classic. Now, I want you to picture a vast mind map in your head. Right in the central hub, the core node where literally everything else branches out from, is the concept of mastering ourselves. Jordan calls this the kingship of self-control. It's basically the idea that managing your own mind, your own reactions, is the ultimate form of royalty.
Let's look at Section 1, the kingship of self-control. Mastering the center hub.
This center hub, it's the foundational power that stabilizes absolutely everything else in our lives. Without it, the rest of the branches, our work, our relationships, our peace of mind, they just fall apart. And Jordan makes building this highly practical. He introduces what he calls the progressive installment plan for building character. Because, let's be real, you can't just miraculously become disciplined overnight. Nature just doesn't work that way. Instead, you build it through what he calls daily moral gymnastics. Try this. Drop an intensely interesting book right at the most thrilling page, or jump out of bed the very first second you wake up. Choose to walk when you could easily take a ride, or even deliberately go make pleasant conversation with someone you find completely disagreeable. These tiny, slightly uncomfortable choices, they act as daily exercises. They tone your moral muscles so that when a true crisis hits, your self-control is locked, loaded, and ready.
Branching out from our center hub, we find our biggest threats in Section 2, overcoming worry and hurry, the antagonists of the modern era.
Jordan actually describes worry as a massive energy drain. It's like a traitor in our own camp that surreptitiously steals the mental force we so desperately need for our actual daily duties. Think about it. It just taps away the rich strength of our minds and totally wastes it on vague, restless fears.
And this brilliantly illustrates the trap of anxiety. He says, worry is forethought gone to seed. Worry is the father of insomnia. Honestly, it's an incredible analogy. Jordan explains that worry essentially discounts possible future sorrows merely to guarantee present misery. It's like a colony of petty, restless imps of fear that completely eclipse the sun of your happiness today, all for something that might not even happen tomorrow. Crazy, right?
Right alongside worry, we have its equally destructive partner, hurry. Jordan sharply contrasts this artificial hurry with natural growth. Hurry is forced, it's panicked and fragile. It's kind of like a hothouse mushroom that shoots up in a single night but lacks any real substance. Natural growth, on the other hand, that's patient and slow. It's the mighty oak tree that requires literal decades to mature, but can withstand the absolute fiercest storms. So, if we want lasting power, we really have to banish the scourge of hurry and just accept the quiet dignity of slow growth.
Now, panning across to the next branch of our mind map, we find the direct opposite in Section 3, the majesty of calmness, the ultimate refuge.
So, what exactly is true calmness? Jordan describes it as a holy of holies. And look, calmness isn't about selfishly isolating yourself from humanity, or just not caring about what happens around you. Actually, it's about building an impenetrable internal sanctuary. You retire into this quiet mental space to recharge and gather your strength, precisely so you can go back out and live effectively in the noisy, chaotic world. It is, without a doubt, the crowning glory of self-control.
Let's zoom into our internal motivations now. Section 4, replacing duty with love, a shift in motivation. This is such a profound perspective shift. Get this, Jordan calls duty the most overlauded word in the whole vocabulary of life. Think about the sheer contrast here. Duty is a debt to be paid. It's forced. It's mechanical, kind of like a pump manually pulling water from the ground. It's really just the cold, bare anatomy of righteousness. But love? Love sees life as a debt to be collected. It is entirely spontaneous, overflowing naturally like a beautiful fountain. In Jordan's eyes, duty is just a poor understudy to love.
To really drive this point home, Jordan uses a pretty chilling historical example. During the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius at Pompeii, a Roman sentinel remained at his post at the city gates, his hand rigidly grasping his sword as the molten lava buried him. Now, for centuries, people praised his sublime nobleness, but Jordan completely challenges this. He calls it a morbid faithfulness to the red tape of duty. I mean, an automaton would have stood there just as uselessly. Giving even one single hour of your life to loving, consecrated service to humanity is infinitely higher than blindly sacrificing yourself to rigid rules. We absolutely must warm our cold sense of duty with the divine fire of love.
Branching outward once again, let's examine our actual impact on the world. Section 5. The power of personal influence, our silent radiation. We so often think our influence is greatest when we are actively trying to teach or impress someone. Jordan calls this our conscious influence, basically when we're on dress parade posing for the world. But here's the kicker. Jordan argues that our unconscious influence is actually far, far more powerful. It's the silent, subtle radiation of our true personality. It's in the tiny trifles we never even consider, the way we carry ourselves, our ambient mood as we walk into a room. Every single moment, your sheer presence is subtly altering the lives of absolutely everyone around you. Finally, we connect our last spoke on the map. Section 6. Doing your best always. Simplifying the complex. Look, life is full of baffling, frustrating mysteries, but we can actually simplify it all down to one single actionable principle: just doing our best with the light we currently have. I absolutely love Jordan's observation here. He says the sun illuminates and beautifies a fallen leaf by the roadside as impartially as a towering mountain peak in the Alps. Meaning, it doesn't matter how humble your current calling is right now. If you do your absolute best, you vitalize your work, you dignify it. And by choosing to do your best in the smallest, seemingly insignificant tasks, you directly prepare yourself to be equal to higher privileges when they finally do arrive. Now, zooming out to look at the completed mind map, we can clearly see how mastering that central hub of self-control naturally stabilizes all of these interconnected branches. By taking character growth step by step on that installment plan, we gain the real strength to literally starve our worries and reject the frantic scourge of hurry. And that allows us to build a totally calm sanctuary right in our own minds, replacing rigid duty with flowing love, radiating a super positive unconscious influence, and ultimately empowering us to simply do our very best in every single moment. I want to leave you with Jordan's incredibly provocative challenge. Each and every moment is a victory either for the worst elements within you or for the best. So, will you be king or will you be slave? The answer rests entirely with you. Take agency over your life today. If you found this explainer helpful, please share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more insightful book summaries and mind map explainers. Catch you next time.